Everybody, and welcome back to Flute the Loop. My name is Leanna, and today we are taking a look at the Haynes Q2. This is a solid silver flute, head joint and body, and the pads themselves are Straubinger pads, so really nice flute off the bat. This one happens to be a little bit special because I got a special head joint to test it with. So this head joint is an optional head joint on the Haynes Q2. You could do a different one if you wanted to, but this one in particular has a 14 karat gold riser. So the riser of a head joint is the part in which the metal is split or is splitting the air. So when you blow into the instrument, the riser cuts that air. So this riser is 14 karat gold. And you might think, oh, okay, that's just fancy, you put a lot of money into that kind of thing, but it really does make a huge difference. Gold and silver and other metals will really change the sound of the instrument because of the way in which the metal will vibrate. And even something that's just as small as just this little ridge of the flute being gold will make a really big difference, and I'm pretty sure you'll hear it in the sound too. So let's test some notes and see what it sounds like. This flute is a lot more similar to my own flute, so playing on it becomes a lot easier when I'm just getting used to it. And this is partially because it's the mix of silver and gold, which is similar to my own flute. Let's see how it does on a chromatic scale. Really beautiful instrument, very easy to play. So speaking of easy to play, we're going to test it out by playing a couple of orchestral excerpts, and I think a great way to test the melodic capabilities of the instrument is by Bizet's Carmen. So we're going to play a little bit of that solo. Really lovely. Really lovely. So easy to play. It's kind of a delight to play through that solo on this particular instrument. To test virtuosity, we're going to play something a little bit more technical. And what's more technical than Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream? This one, I can tell already because of the action, so the distance of the keys to the body of the flute and the way that the keys feel under my fingers, the action is very different from what I'm used to, which is going to make playing the Mendelssohn quite difficult, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Okay, it's very quick in response, but I'm struggling to get my left hand down as quick as I'm used to because my left hand keys of my personal flute is much lower and lighter. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing. Some people like to have a higher or a stronger action on their keys. I know plenty of flutists that do. It's just very different from what I'm used to, so I'm going to give that a second try. perfect, but that was a lot better. So I just had to adjust to the keys. Yeah, you can definitely get used to that. It's just a matter of personal preference and how you like your keys to be under your fingers. So finally, we're going to combine the two together and put together our melodic and our virtuosic, and we're also going to test out color on the Daphnis and Chloe by Ravel. So let's give it a shot. Okay, I really enjoy playing this flute because I feel like I can push it with the air, and it's just going to take everything that I have and spin it so easily. I can give it tons and tons of air, and it's not going to crack anywhere. And I think part of that has to do with what it's made out of, but also the craftsmanship of this instrument. It is really, really lovely to play. It is very different from my own flute. I've noticed in particular, like the thumb key is shaped a little bit differently, and then of course the key action itself, but these are all things that you can get used to, or if you put them in your hands and you're like, oh, this is the way my flute should be, then this is definitely the flute for you. So really, really lovely instrument, has such a great and fun color palette to work with. So if you are looking for a flute with a little bit of gold, I highly suggest checking out this Haynes. So huge thank you to FluteWorks for sponsoring this video. If you want to try out this flute for yourself, go ahead and give them a call or an email and schedule yourself an appointment and give it a shot.